Good evening, everybody, and welcome to one of the rare news updates that I like to do on the Grade A Flicks channel. Grade A Fantasy is here to talk about the recent trade request. What about an hour ago from the time I'm recording this? So I just want to give a quick update on what's going on. Obviously, everybody should know, but for those who don't know, Davante Adams just requested a trade. Las Vegas Raiders are asking for a package that includes at least a second round pick for the 32-year-old vet. One thing that we did like within the recent CBA is that they extended the trade deadline. So the trade deadline is not until I think November 5th, or if I'm not mistaken, that's about week 9, if I'm not mistaken, because we're week 5 right now. So that's about week 9, so that's still halfway through the season. Any people traded still has half a season to get acclimated with their team, which sounds about fair. But I'm just here to discuss what are the potential trade talks that I think that, and these are all teams that I have a list of, I think 8. I have a list of 8 teams that I think that should trade for Davante Adams. These are all teams that can either, if they don't contend for a Super Bowl this year, they can contend with him next year. Davante Adams still has 2 years on his contract. So let's get right into it. In the AFC, now I know this is a reach. I could probably say this for last, but the reach, because it's in the same division, but the Raiders aren't in contention, and trading Davante Adams is probably something that might, bother you in the immediate, but not in the future. By the time, if Antonio Pierce is still around, takes the time to actually get the Vegas Raiders into contention. So with the Chiefs injuries, Rashee Rice, Hollywood Brown. Now, with the Hollywood Brown situation, it was known that if the Chiefs make the playoffs, he could possibly return then with the shoulder injury that he has, plus with the recovery time of that surgery. But now with Rashee Rice, I think there's an urgency to at least go for Davante Adams, because at least you'll get your running game back. Kareem Hunt did look good. Pacheco is expected to not come back until around Thanksgiving, if I'm not mistaken, or a little bit before that. So definitely I have, without a doubt, Chiefs as somebody that can use Davante Adams services. Number 2, I have the Buffalo Bills. I think he'll fit right in. They really don't have a number 1. It's pretty much a group squad, because the Bills have changed up their offense. They're running more. Josh Allen is not forcing the ball down the field. And with their kind of like quick strike motion style offense that they have, I do like the set of having a go-to guy. They really don't have a go-to guy. If anything, right now, it's the defense comes in with a big play. James Cook and Josh Allen are dominating the ball, while the receiving core, along with a complimentary, Kincaid and Dawson Knox, are there just to support those 2 or those 3 elements of the Bills, being Allen, Cook, and the Bills defense. So having a go-to guy for the playoffs definitely benefits Josh Allen. I actually like that. Like I said, that Bills window, as long as you got Josh Allen, on that team, plus, they're going all for it. Like I said, it was just a couple years ago, most likely in his final contract on the defensive end, they gave a big contract to Von Miller. They still have a solid defense, solid O-line. I think Davante Adams fits well with Josh Allen, really. Another one will stay in the AFC East, definitely the Jets. He will definitely fit well with the Jets. Reunion with Aaron Rodgers, I mean, that's just a storybook ending for Davante to get his first championship, and then for Aaron Rodgers to get his second, pretty much at the end of his career after last year's Achilles tear, and to get that. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Aaron, that will also link up with Aaron's contract, because he has this year and next year, I'm pretty sure. So the Jets could definitely use him. Definitely give Garrett Wilson some help. Next up, we'll go into another division. We'll head to Baltimore. And even though Zay Flowers is developing into Baltimore's number 1, Baltimore really hasn't had a legit number 1. While even though Zay Flowers has improved, Zay Flowers is getting up there. He seems to improve every year. But somebody like Davante Adams will definitely help. Another weapon. They won't have to lean on Derrick Henry as much when it comes to November, December, and of course in January, of course. I think that's just another viable weapon, and it will probably most likely Lamar Jackson's first primary number one target. I know Lamar would definitely love that. And then I actually think just to give him that boost, even though right now it doesn't look like Super Bowl contention at all, if there's anybody that could use him for this year and then hold on to him for next year, because the cap is tight. I'm just throwing a wild card out there. Maybe the Bengals make a play for him. Maybe they do. Jamar Chase, Higgins, and Adams, that will definitely be something that Joe Burrow will like to look at as he stands in the back of the pocket, having those three elite options. But like I said, we'll see. That's just a wild card that I have there. Now, for the NFC, Detroit, it's really Amon-Ra St. Brown, even though Sam Laporta, like I said, it's just been a down year for tight ends all over. But Goff, I think, if they could move some stuff around, I think Goff they could probably afford Davante Adams. Remember, his contract is not guaranteed. That's the most important thing. I think it's 2 years. Oof, I forgot the total. I'm just gonna say somewhere in the 40s. I think 2 years, close to 40, maybe high 30s, something like that. But the most important thing is non-guaranteed. So Davante on Detroit on the opposite side of Amon-Ra St. Brown definitely is a big offensive booster, even though that would kind of seem to put things out of whack. Only one football. They already do a decent job of splitting the running back carries with these guys. And like I said, it's Amon-Ra and everybody else. But definitely a legit weapon for the Super Bowl window that the Lions are in. Next, I would like to go to Atlanta. And I think, there's not no pure number one there. You might want to say Drake London and so on and so forth. But to not only lead that wide receiver core, groom that wide receiver core, I think that with Mooney, Drake London, I think Davante Adams will be an amazing pickup for Kirk Cousins. Like I said, Kirk Cousins is definitely on his last big contract, I would say. And to have a big name receiver, it'll definitely be great for Kirk. Kirk definitely is that type of quarterback that's gonna focus in on his main guy, which would be newly Davante Adams. Like I said, he does have that history with Justin Jefferson. Over the last couple of years, he will key in on Davante, and that will definitely get Davante motivated. And then the last team, I think it makes perfect sense. A reunion with Derek Carr. The reason why he went to Vegas is to be with Derek Carr. That didn't go too long, and Derek Carr left. So, got signed by the Saints, and the Saints are now one of the top teams in the league. So, maybe a reunion there. So, he has 2 reunion options and a few places where it definitely makes for winning sense. Those are my teams right there. For the AFC, Chiefs, Bills, Jets, Baltimore, Cincy as a wild card. And in the NFC, I think the targets would be Detroit, Atlanta, New Orleans. You heard it here first. I'm pretty sure everybody else talking about the trade already has their own things, but I just wanted to make sure I get my opinion out there about it. Thank you for tuning in to this news update. If anything, I will most likely be getting the wide receiver video for Week 5 up very soon, followed by the tight ends and the defense. Gonna be a busy few days next week. I'm gonna be kind of busy this weekend, so getting these videos out, but I've got the energy and time to make sure I'm putting out some good content and information for you guys. But that's just a little hypothetical. You put down in the comments who do you think, or where do you think Davante Adams is gonna go? Remember, they're looking for, most importantly, stated by the front office, they are looking for a package that has to contain a second round pick. No package will be considered second round or higher. So no package is going to be considered without that second round. Even if you gave up a bunch of third rounds with a fourth or whatever, they have to include a second round for Davante Adams. That's the key. Those are my teams. And put it in the comment section. Who do you think? Who do you think and why? Where does Davante Adams end up? Thank you for tuning in. This is Grade A Fantasy, signing off.